12:30, we'll come back to the live. You guys are watching this later, it's because no one's on here yet. So here in a second, we're going to get into it. But what we're going to talk about today is nutrition and some of the things that people condemn on a regular basis around nutrition. What I'm going to off a bunch of paper and write down the ones that are good, bad, and actually let's add a fourth category and call it great. So it's great, good, bad, evil, and you write down which ones. So grab a piece of paper, write down good, great, and then write down bad, evil on your piece as title that's in my notes. And go big thing behind nutrition and what she'll do. The inspiration from the conference week are super confused, and that was that the people are super confused. It wasn't dietitian, this personal training, this thing, you type that thing. Basically, I'm going to make it all circle by the end. You will see. Help me. Obscurity is my biggest obstacle around exercise, nutrition, mindset, which makes health. It's the most. Please click that share button with every one of your word on social media and how we as the years. But please take the time, slap that you know about more the world around the and we're going to help more people. People is really all I can do is point a certain direction. Now, this is what I think other gyms do: is they take your hard work, point it direct, and I can help encourage. I can help ability and some mindset stuff when it pops and kind of with you, not against you. With so that I can't do it for you. You have to put the food in your mouth or not. You have to show up. You have to do these things. You have to go every night. You got to. You have to confront the things that are. So grab your piece. I'm going to label these out for each one. Okay, so queso. Queso is not on the list. Queso is definitely not on the list. Those jokes, though, the cheese jokes. It is not show cheese. I'm not show friend. And anyway, all right. So I'm going to list these off. You tell me if they're great, good, bad, evil. Every 2 to 4 hours. Is that good? Great. Is it bad? Evil. Okay. 7 p.m. rule. 9 p.m. rule. Gallon of water. Plate. What about like finish your plate? There's starving kids in Africa. Finish your plate every single time. Post-workout drinks. During workout drinks. What about during workout meals, pre-workout meals? Good, bad, great. You know which one? Breakfast or sugar is bad. Breakfast is bad. Carbs are bad. Breakfast is required. Which one does that go in? That is bad. You know, if you talk to a vegan or vegan, however it's pronounced, depending on where you are in the country, is that bad? Is it good? Which one is it? There we go. All right, what about meals ready to eat? Okay, so meals that are already prepared, like Jenny Craig or microwavables or frozen dinners. What about, so which category would those go in? Would those go in the great, the good, the bad, or the evil? What about 100-calorie packs? You know, like 100-calorie packs of Oreos or 100-calorie packs of, you know, whatever other kind of food there is. What about food? Good, great, bad. Sugar or soda, you know, or these sugar drinks just in general, you know, drink, or which one do those go into? Artificial sweeteners. What about candy bars? Sugar from sources that like the idea that sugar is better from natural sources. So like maple syrup versus syrup is one of those sugars actually better than the other. And then because there's a lot of diets out there right now. There's the low paleo diet. There's the no sugar, the Mediterranean diet. I've forgotten more diets than I've actually learned, or most people will ever learn in a lifetime at this point, just because I hear all of them. I hear tons and tons of different diet ideas. They're all some version, but which ones of them are evil? Or wait, evil, bad, good, great. Eat it every 2 to 4 hours, 7 rule, gallon of water a day, finish workout drinks, pre-workout drinks, during workout drinks. Sugar is poison, breakfast is bad, carbs are bad, breakfast is bad, fat is bad, meat is bad, meals ready to eat, frozen dinners, microwave foods, 100-calorie packs, canned goods, diet soda, other sugar drinks, artificial sweet bars, and then natural sugars versus unnatural sugars. And then the diets, paleo, Whole30, low carb, low in. What is bad? Which one do you go with? Much junk out there. There's so much, like some of this is, not all of this is garbage. Not all of this is evil. Okay, first of all, some of this is in the good category. Okay, some of it's the evil category. Some going to. Which one are you going to condemn? One of the big things that I think that's going on in the nutrition is that all this information just gets flooded out there on the internet. And the information doesn't clear. Are they talking to someone who's overweight, they have extra fat in their body, so an extremely obese person? Talking to the housewife that wants to lose 12 pounds and get back to into their jeans into their summer clothes. You know, which one is it? Because these are drastic audiences. These are drastically different demographics. They have drastically different needs. I think getting on here in the fitness and nutrition, and there's not much clarity as to who to go with and why and what you're going to do with it. So that we've got to look at that differently than we have in the past, because right now, for instance, I'm trying to drop a couple. I went on a phase where I was trying to gain a couple. Okay, when you try to gain pounds a month, a little bit of extra fat. Now, and then later I'll gain a little bit more muscle or strength or whatever I'm going for. So, am I on the same plan as I'm 32 years old, or pounds, and my body fat percentage right now is probably to be on the same plan as a 5'6" female who is 45% body fat and wants to get down to body fat. Are we on the same plan? No, we are not on the same plan. What I'm going to say with what people do is they put these in these categories. We're the ones they judge people for. Like, I'll go out to eat with people once in a while and say, you order that. Like, why would I not order it? Because it has bread in it. Well, who cares? Or it has a potato in it. Well, who cares? It's not really that big a deal. if I'm only eating it every once in a while, first of all. And there's nothing wrong with bread. There's nothing wrong with potato anymore. Right about something else. There's always a give and take. So which ones are bad? What do we need to learn from this stuff? What I'm going to say is most of this stuff, almost all of these, I've actually used in consulting with people over the years. I've condemned it or I've used it. There's certain people that you would use certain things. Like one of the things that came up this weekend was like I usually condemn the 7 p.m. Like, well, if someone has late night munchies, what would you do? I'd tell them not to eat after 7 p.m. And they're like, well, yeah. And I'm like, yeah. And then we create a rule for that one person, not for an entire population. That they put a stake in their mind. I am not going to eat after 7 p.m. because they just eat crap after 7 p.m. They eat nachos and ice cream every night, and they can't get the weight off because in their head, they're like, well, this is what I do late at night. Well, you've got to challenge that. Okay, if that's the thing that you do. So 7 p.m. rule is not necessarily bad for every person. What about the 9 p.m. rule? That could be the same thing. What about that eat every 2 to 4 hours? This is what all the time. If you can do this, something that you want to do, sure, but it's completely unnecessary. Eating every 2 to 4 hours is based on research that said that your metabolism goes up when you eat. Yeah, of course it does. However, it only the occasion. So you eat a huge meal, your metabolism is going to rise that much. You eat a small rise this much. So it doesn't really matter if you're doing breakfast, lunch, dinner, or you're doing these little small snacks throughout the day. The gallon of water a day thing is absolutely bogus. But there are instances when you would drink a gallon of water a day. For instance, you are 6'4", 230 pounds. I'm in the middle of the desert. Let's say I'm in Arizona and I'm working out really hard and it's in the middle of the summer and I'm 6'4", 230 pounds. I probably need a gallon. Can be a thing, but for the most part, it's not just the person on the person. Finish your plate. I just went through a phase where I was trying to get a little bit bigger. To finish my plate, people need to finish their plate. No. Okay. The idea that because they're starving kids in Africa, you should finish your plate is silly. You shouldn't get fat for kids in Africa. You know what I'm saying? And shouldn't. Brent thought that was funny. I finish my plate if I'm trying to gain mass because they're starving kids and I don't want to get fat. Like you gotta post-workout, pre-workout, all this stuff, it's not absolutely necessary unless you're getting into like some serious sports nutrition type stuff. You're getting into sports nutrition, like you're a bodybuilder and you're trying to get massive, take care of that 1 hour window post-workout and really put down some massive amount of food. If you're trying to have the hardest workout meal, it's not really that big a deal. Now, if you are trying to cut fat, what would be the point in a protein shake or a protein bar right after? When you use something that's lower calorie massive drink, where it's giving you this similar without any of the macro in. By the way, guys, at the end of this talk, I'm going through the diets. All those diets that I mentioned, I'm going to go through them, and I'm going to explain why they work. Joanne's calorie packs, because the suggestion may be a deck of cards, but in that portion. So I have to get a small bag of cookies instead of just reaching into the big knot. Be my exact reasoning for the 100 calorie pack. I think is super silly. Like, it's like, what's the difference between 100 calories? The difference is a mental thing. Like, if you only buy that one little pack, 100 calorie pack, that's done. Game over. You just ate the whole pack for the people who aren't very good at moderating. That's not all that bad. And that's kind of the same reason with the meals ready to eat. One of the guys at the conference, actually, he called Diet Pop. I think all of this stuff can be like a nicotine patch. Is a nicotine patch good? Hell no. It's not. It's not good. However, Is it better than smoking? Yeah. So are you going to use it to get to where you want to go? So a person who is 200 pounds over, they obviously have a very poor relationship with food. They don't know what a calorie looks like. They don't know nutritional stuff. They overeat, probably don't cook for themselves. Them having a pre-packaged item, can that be that is sitting in their freezer, they pop it in the microwave, it's fast, it's easy, they can put more of their focus the other things that, because this like losing 200 pounds is going to take a massive amount of effort, a massive amount of courage, a massive amount of discipline. They're going to be exhausted. You put too many things on the plate, too many requirements on them up front, they're going to fail out. So maybe this is a good stepping stone. Maybe we go 6 weeks for lunch, all you prepackaged items, or maybe you do lunch and dinner, or maybe you like, this is where the shake thing can come. Matter with a shake first thing in the morning, a shake at noon, and then whatever you want at night. Nothing's wrong with that. That can work really well for people who need to lose a lot of weight really early, and it can create that initial like, hey, we're losing weight fast right now. We're initial success. That's what I was going for. So it can be a big difference maker. If you can lose a bunch of weight, it works. Mentally, it's like, it works. I can do this. I'm going to make it happen. People are more likely to stick with it. It's really, nutrition is so much more than anything else. And like, it's almost silly looking at it from our perspective, because it's like, well, yeah, of course it works. Like, you're eating less food. Of course it works. You're eating better. Of course it works. You know, like, it's just not, that's what I'm going to go through at the end with these diets. Is like, of course they work, and this is what, and just like anything else, nothing works unless you do. You put the work out. But a lot of things can work. This is how well do they work. Where were we? Oh, breakfast is bad. Sugar is poison. Sugar is not poison. We've been eating sugar for a real long time. It is completely fine. The problem with sugar is when you have just outrageous amounts of it. If I give you a pixie stick every 15 seconds and told you to down it, yeah, you're going to be pretty sick at some point. If I put you in the middle of the ocean, even if that was, you're going to drown. It's poison. That water is poison. Anything, if you have too much of it, and you see people go into war online over all of these subjects, it blows my mind. The unicorn drink has like a certain amount of so much heat. The other day I was reading through somebody's comments on me, and because it was on her feed, and I was just like, this can't be real. Some guy got so heated, and what he said? He said, you're unknowingly shitting on your child's future health. Don't quote me on that, but I don't know what that was for. That it's like, no, you're not unknowingly shitting on your child's future health or drink once a month, or on a rare occasion. The problem would be, same thing for adults as it would be for kids, is if you're giving them that sugar drink at 11 a.m. and then at noon you give them a Sun and Delight, and then in the middle of the afternoon you give them a Capri Sun, and then at night they get a pop. Like, that's all in one day. That's a problem. But that one little drink in the morning, sugar is not poison, and they're not stupid. One of the sugar in the world is actually, I think he has multiple PhDs. He's stuck in this little microcosm that he can't see another solution. It's just like, no, sugar is poison, sugar is poison, sugar is poison. It's like, dude, step out of the side of your bubble and look at this thing from the big. It can't just be that a little amount of sugar versus this huge amount of sugar is also bad. They can't both be poison. They're not both poison. But canned food, is canned food bad? Not all canned food. Not all canned food. Your own food, is it bad? Is it going to be bad? Canned food, I think, is actually very interesting. I actually really like canned food, but I grew up in a home that we canned all of our food from the garden. So I still hate canned spinach. I think it's disgusting. It tastes like rotten hay, but it tasted really good. Green beans from the store, I think those taste like corn. Is something nice, is something that it went from the school. Thought it was gross. Got it from our we can our foods. So the thing is, who is it's or anyway, he's French. A French guy came up with, it was in the Napoleonic War, and it was because France, the French government, they gave it an award to anybody who could come up with a way to keep food fresh to their troops. That they needed that. So this guy comes up with this way. Canned goods can actually be stored for 30 years. And I think that this is the way. This is like, we're gonna see more of this in, hopefully we see more of this in grocery stores, because the box stuff, that kind of stuff is the more processed things. I think those are quick, easy to grab. Now, if we can put canned goods and we can make them in a healthy way, I think with, not as much sodium, bad for you, but it is if you have so I think we can make them in a better way, and we can make them taste better. And this can be one of the things that we can increase shelf life. And that means that we don't waste as much food. And that means that prices and maintain at a normal base for fresh food. You're not paying for the fresh food that they had to throw away because it came from or something. Food thing for diet soda. This is actually diet soda was like a nicotine patch. Would you rather have diet soda? Or would you rather? One has far less calories than the other one. Obviously, they both suck. However, which is the lesser of two evils? If you're trying to, you need to go with the diet soda. What do you need to do? Probably need to go with the diet soda if you can't get off soda. Otherwise, drink water. A lot of people don't like water. I prefer coffee. Artificial sweeteners, are they? Get all this negative rap for causing cancer in rats. These astronomical amounts of artificial sweeteners to cause the cancer. There's a lot of other things that would probably cause cancer too. We're not getting that when we chew gum and we eat small amounts of these things. Now, the other thing is we're more negatively affected by the, somebody's waving us from outside. We're in our gut health by these artificial. Terrible for us. They're not the devil. They're not evil. But at the same time, you probably do want them if you create an effect in the body similar to when sugar. I think this one's for you.
Do you know who it is?
No, but you might want to meet outside. Hey guys, we're just gonna have a watching this later. This is really funny. But anyway, there's some natural sources versus like super corn syrup. Is maple sugar better than high fructose corn syrup? I think this is the silliest argument. I think what's the best exercise to do in the gym? There's tons of good exercise. Why would you try to pick the best one? And also, like, we're arguing such a small thing. Like, would you rather have an orange or would you rather have a tangerine or a nectarine? Pick. I mean, people probably have their preference, but yeah, there are differences among these sugars. There definitely are. There's differences between maple sugar and high fructose corn syrup and sucralose and how the body responds to each. But really, the overall, when we're looking at the overall effect, like not that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal. I think that there's bigger fish to fry than whether you choose the maple syrup or whether you choose the high fructose corn syrup. There's other things that besides which. So that kind of, like, we kind of basically, candy bars. Everybody wants to condemn candy bars. Candy bars is no good. very bad to your health. It's bad. For some reason, people think bars are bad, but they think protein bars are good. They think candy bars are bad, but they think nutrient bars are good. Bars are good, but candy bars are bad. They're bars. They're all candy, saying a different wrapper with a different message. They're the same thing. So why is one condemned and the other is great? I really don't think that either one of them are your friend. There are a time and a place for protein bars, so don't get me wrong. Like you have me eating all day, you come to eat, I'm gonna pass out if I don't have some bar. Or you're in a bind and you're like the Cliff Bars. If you're climbing a rock cliff and you're working out really hard on that cliff and you don't want to fall, you're a Cliff Bar. But if you're trying to lose fat and you think that a Cliff Bar, you need your thing. But I just went through all. I think I went through. Why do some of these work and some of these not? Maybe you've gotten some stuff along the way. Why does the Whole30 work? Why does low carb vegan work? Why does the no sugar thing that work? Did you get all ironed out?
Yep, she's lost one directions to Northgate.
Yeah, well, she's close. Not something that I expected to get when we moved up here. A lot of it. But why does paleo work? Paleo works because you lower an intake. So paleo, the name is silly. Humans have survived on anything and everything for as long as we've been around. There's probably some guy out there, or some person out there, some family out there who eats oysters or only on corn, or we are extremely adaptable to our environment. And the paleo thing, we survived on anything. So saying our bodies aren't adapt, we are the most adaptable species that has ever on the face of the earth. Darwin's theory was not the survival of the fittest. Darwin's theory was survival adaptable. The fast had nothing to do with that got changed later on. But why does paleo work? Paleo works because you lower an entire macro calories via carbohydrates. You have less carbohydrates going in your body because you can't fast food. Fast food, what happens? Because processed food, a calorie. Yes and no. So a calorie is just a calorie in the sense that, yes, this is in the sense that this is my hand. Is this still my hand because I closed my fist? Yes, it's. So if we're getting our calories from processed food, usually we absorb more of those. If you're getting your calories from, you're going to absorb every single calorie, probably not. So why does paleo work? You eat less processed food and you take away a macro and less calories. Two things. Why does Whole30 work? We're eating less processed food and we're eating less sugar, which is a carbohydrate. Sugar is just a carbohydrate. So we have less macronutrients going into our body. We end up losing weight because of it. What about the low carb thing? Same deal. The reason that low carb works is because you took away an entire macronutrient group. You took away calories. Okay? You took away carbohydrates. By the way, carbohydrates are your only non-essential macronutrient. You have to have fat and you have to have protein or you're going to die. How do the vegan, why do people lose fat why do they lose weight when they go on vegan? Because they took away protein, drastically reduced the amount of protein that they were putting into their body. It takes away a macronutrient group, the amount of processed food in their diet. Are you seeing some commonalities here? Okay. No sugar. The no sugar thing. Why does no sugar diet? I'm not drinking any, I'm not going to eat any sugar. And they lose a bunch of weight. Why does that work? Well, some of it is because the scale and what's actually going on inside your body are different. And some of it, you just took away an entire macronutrient group. You removed carbohydrates from your, you drastically reduce the number of carbohydrates that you're eating, less processed food, because what does processed food have? Most processed food has a ton of sugar. So you decrease that. How does the low-fat diet work? There's a theme here. The low-fat diet works because you're lowering calories via fat, and your body has to deal with it. Okay? If you notice, almost all these diets, they work because they lower a macronutrient group, less processed food. If you healthier, you want to lose some fat. This is the 1,200 pounds. Sample constants. You have to lower the number of processed foods that you're eating to lower your macronutrients. Okay, together, because we absorb that we do eat, and we get our size. Our body grows by how much food that we eat. If you want to grow bigger, Amy Green, fine. Thanks for the comment. I love it when you guys chime in. I didn't do a very good job of asking you to do this shit, but yes, less processed food and less food. And really, if you just eat better, it suffices both of those. If you just eat better, it suffices both of those. You know that you shouldn't just stuff yourself full, so don't do it. That's eating better. That's also moderation. It's also a proportion, or whatever else you want to call it. You know that you shouldn't be eating like a little kid. Mac and cheese is not on the menu. You know, eating whatever you want is not on the menu. You set what you're going to eat, and then you eat that. One of the things we were talking about was when doesn't want to eat what you have made, or you don't want to eat. Ridiculous. What go eat? Especially if you're not the one that made it, you don't get to complain. What is put there? All such a little kid game. You don't just get to eat whatever you want whenever you want. That's how you grow. If you want to take fast in a conceptual way that will positively affect someone that needs to lose 12 pounds or someone that needs to lose 200 pounds, it's very simple. Less processed, less macronutrients. And the way to do that, you just eat better. You just eat better. And that makes it super, super simplistic. But I guarantee I wanted to get across in this video, which I'm going to do more on this later. But the only thing that really should be condemned in this whole list is the stress that comes because of this. I guarantee you that the people that got in those arguments about the unicorn drink from Starbucks online, the amount of hormonal response and that stress and the negativity that did to their body harmed their health far worse than the totality that they've had in their entire. So if there is one thing to condemn on this, it would be the stress around how you're eating. Try to decrease that. You do the absolute best that you possibly can, and then that has to be enough. You're not trying for perfection in the nutrition game. You're not trying for perfection in the nutrition game. I eat pizza probably about 2 times a month. Rachel and I, perfection is not what you are going for. You're going for health. You're doing the absolute best that you possibly can, and then that's stress that it comes out of all of this stuff is going to do much more harm to you. A little bit of sugar that you ate, that also could be one. Screw up, you got to learn from it. Because what is the 3 ways to an error? If you know you made an error, you know you made a nutritional error, any kind of error really, but let's say it's a nutritional error. So you go and you eat a bunch of shit, right? You just eat and eat and eat and eat. You ate pizza that was topped with French fries and then had ice cream on top. Sounds amazing, right? That's what I want to put down me. You get done, you're like, oh, I feel really guilty now. My stomach feels like crap. You know you made an error. That was an error. What am I going to learn from this? I'm going to learn that when I eat this crap, so I should not do that again. I have one piece. right? One piece of try on top of one dollop of ice cream is probably enough. And then you need to be done. Maybe that doesn't make you fat. Maybe that does still lead to macronutrients and you're fine. You had to, and then you got to move on. Fester is like an open wound. It's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. Fester's pretty nasty work on. But I'm going to get out of here. I'm a little bit over time. I said that I was going to get these done, did not get done by one day. But thank you guys for being here. If any of you stuck this out this whole time, that's pretty impressive. But thanks. I really appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow. Thursday is a strength topic. I don't remember what it is. But also, Burn and Brew, May 25th. We're going to do a workout out here at 6:30. It's going to be an obstacle course. As long as the weather permits, it's going to be an obstacle course. Right afterwards, we're going to go over to Wildwood. If you wear your Grit Gym shirt or you buy a Grit Gym shirt while you're there, first drink is on us. This should be really fun. Everybody is invited. VPs for the workout because we have a capacity. It's not like we can have 500 people. We wouldn't be able to move. We'd just be able to fit inside. Thanks for being here, guys.